YouTube, Shukin Shub here with a review of the Power Rangers Dino Charge, Raptor Zord, and Para Zord. So these take the place of the Zord line, started with Samurai, and continue it in a pretty neat way. As you can see here, there are no Ranger figures included with the Zords. So instead of giving you a crappy little figure, you now get a full Zord that has a fairly decent amount of paint detail for the price, and it's a little bit bigger as well. So that is very, very cool. They finally forewent the stupid little figure that we don't need, and gave us a nicer Zord. Each one retails for $16.99 at Toys R Us. They're more than likely going to be $14.99 at most other locations, just like the current Zord lineup. On the packaging here, we have a cool picture of the Raptor down here being all neat. You got the Charger up here. Note that my Charger doesn't have a number on it. I bought this one on purpose just because it was different and I thought it was funny. So I bought that one on purpose. Do keep an eye on the Chargers. They're always visible in the package, so make sure that yours has a number printed unless you don't want the one with the number on it. Be like I did because it was different and I thought it was neat. So anyway, mistakes are cool, guys. Cool picture of the Raptor back here. I love the artwork on these boxes. Are just really, really cool. Artwork of the Para Zord down here. The Para Charger right there. That one does have a number. Both the Para Zords had numbers at my Toys R Us. And the Para Zord right there. So, very, very cool. Let's get these guys open and take a look. Alright, so we have the Para Zord and the Raptor Zord out of their packages and with their Dino Chargers. So before we take a look at the Zords, let's go ahead and take a look at the Dino Chargers. They play the same exact sounds in the Dino Charge Morpher, so I'm not going to go ahead and do that. But they all have the same feature that we're used to. It's nothing new there. Here is the one that came with the Dino Charge Morpher. Here's the one that came with the Para Zord. They're pretty similar. The sticker is different. There's less detail in the one on the Para Zord. And the backs are pretty much the same as well. So I don't know if that's just mine or if that's common. I haven't really looked at any other Para Zord toys to know. But now here is the Raptor Charger, and this is where things get fun. First of all, the sticker. It's a little bit darker. There's no teeth colored in for whatever reason. I don't know why they're different pictures. Like, it would have made more sense to have one picture that they just mass used. But these are two completely differently rendered pictures. So I don't know what their deal is. But there's that. No number. As I mentioned in the beginning of the video, mine does not have a number. The other one in the store did have a number, however. So it's not like the one always doesn't have a number. I just bought the one with no number because I thought it was cool. There's my dog. So Velociraptor is actually a lot cleaner on this one than it is on the one with the Dino Saber. So there's that. And again, same gimmick, nothing new. Alright, so here are the Zords, and they belong to the Black and Green Rangers, respectively. Obviously, if that wasn't a dead giveaway based on their color. Let's take a look at the Para Zord first. Based off the Parasaurolophus, it's pretty neat. Both of these have the same base mold to them. Obviously, the tail is different, and the talons down here are different. The head's different, obviously. But the same body throughout here is the same. So they transform completely identical. Articulation-wise on these, you have full rotation on the legs here until it gets stuck on the arms. So you can do all sorts of weird things with them, whatever you want to do. The arms also have a full rotation until they get caught up here, and then they have a swivel down there, so you can be limp-armed or whatever. I'm not really sure how Parasaurolophus's arms are supposed to look like. But there we go. That's about it in terms of articulation. The mouth does open, obviously. And you can insert a charger inside, charge it up, pop it in, and it'll activate the feature, which splits open the tail and reveals a laser. Now, just like the Triceran Stegozords, you cannot close it. It's still very much annoying because it only needed a little bit more clearance to close. But alas, they did not do that. Which I still think is kind of silly. It really shouldn't have taken that much effort to get that in there, but whatever. So there we go. So there is that. If you do not have a charger handy, just like the other Zords, you can use this lever down here to slide and open up the laser like that. So let's go ahead and just keep the charger in his mouth, because why not? We can actually do that for reals this time. And set him aside while we bring in the Raptor Zord. Like I said, same base molding, so all the same points of articulation. Not going to go over that again. But he is green and yellow and really cool. I've always dug the Raptor Zord. He's pretty neat, so I really dig him. His action feature: open up the mouth, grab our numberless charger, make sure there's enough clearance in there, pop him open, and the tail splits apart to reveal a claw. I love the way this one looks. The one in the show actually really does look like a shovel to me. So I'm glad they kind of took a little bit of liberty here and actually made quite a claw-looking weapon. So that's neat. And then, of course, you do have the lever back here if you do not want to use the charger. But there's no point in really taking that out. Comparing to the models on the show, obviously there is paint missing on these guys. Not a whole lot, though. It's mostly just silver bits throughout the legs here. That's really about the only paint applications that are missing that you might want to fill in on your own if you are a stickler for details. But thanks to not having a figure with these, there are a lot more paint applications than there normally would be, and I think they do a pretty good job at their price point of coming as close to possible for the show without breaking their budget. So pretty cool. Transformation is quite a bit different than the show and the Japanese molds. Actually, I think the Japanese ones had the arms folding up inside the legs here. Obviously, that's not a thing because these legs are solid. So things are going to get a little bit weirder. Flip these around to the front here, and then fold these back just like so. And then fold these around like that, and then fold these back. Alternatively, the instructions tell you to fold them upward. That comes really close to that peg though, so if you would like, you can fold them backwards. It's really up to you. I'm just going to go with the official transformation for that. And I believe this is correct. The instructions are quite a bit vague in terms of how that actually is pulled off. So I'm just going to go with that thus far. It doesn't create as clean of a line, which I think is a little bit bothersome. But given how this is transforming, it's very strange, to say the least. So there is the Para Zord all done and ready to go. And here is the Raptor. One thing I do want to point out is that these legs are on Zord builder ports. So there is that. So you can attach other legs to it, I guess, when we get other Zords. And there's a Zord builder port on the tummy of these guys, which is very cool. I'm really mad that the Tricera and Stegozords didn't have that. I was looking for it and then it wasn't there. So there is a Zord builder port down there. We can do some cool stuff with that, which I'll show off momentarily. So his transformation is exactly the same, bearing in mind that his nails are a little bit different, so I can't quite seem to get as solid of a grip on them as I can with the Para Zord. So keep that in mind. This is all sorts of messed up. I don't like the way that they changed these, honestly. As much as I'm all for Zord Builder and all for the Bandai America toys, I don't particularly like the way that this is set up. Just doesn't quite do it for me. For the Raptor, I like the arms down here, just because I can't quite seem to get them to work all that well up there, but I guess for the sake of accuracy, we'll do that. Alright, so take the Para Zord, and that will pop right into here, just like so. And then take the Raptor Zord, and that will pop in right here, just like so. And there we have, I'm not sure what they're going to call this in the show. In Kyoryuger, it was Kyoryuger Western. I don't know what they're going to go with here. Para Raptor Dino Charge Megazord, I don't know. But here we are. And I like this formation quite a bit. It does give him a cool gun arm and a cool claw arm, enhanced by the American mold, in my opinion. I love the claw weapon for our version, and it's a cool looking toy. It's got some of the same things that I really didn't like about the Japanese version. The mouths right here come really close to the body, and it just doesn't look as clean as the Tricera and Stegozords do. So that's a little bit of a bother, and it hits up against the tail here, and I think those could be a little bit nicer designed. But alas. But in terms of the look department, I think they nailed it. They definitely nailed the look of the Megazord. It's one of my favorite combinations. I just like the gun and claw weapon combination. I think is pretty neat. And so I really dig that. Now, there are multiple other things you could do. You can mix and match. They do that in the show plenty of times. So if you want a sword and a claw, you can reattach the Stegozord. Now you have a sword and a claw weapon. Alternatively, if you wanted a gun and a drill, you can take off the Raptor and then put in the Tricerazord. I can line up the clips properly. And then you have a gun and a drill, which is pretty cool. So mixing and matching these is really fun, and that's where a bulk of the fun of the Kyoryuger toy line came from. Now, if we pop the Stegozord back in and go back to our normal Dino Charge Megazord, we can make use of the Zord Builder ports. Now, one formation that is going to be toward the end of the show, so we won't see it until like 2016 or some crazy nut job date like that, is taking the Parazord and putting it on the Zord Builder port up on his shoulder, and that creates a shoulder-mounted cannon that I just really frickin' love. And I love the fact that it doesn't require a piece from another Zord like the Japanese one, so we can do this right away. We can have a Dino Charge Megazord with a Parasaurolophus railgun on his shoulder. And that is amazing. I like that a lot. So you can do that. Alternatively, you can put the Raptor Zord up on that port, have a shoulder-mounted claw. I don't know how helpful that would be, but you can do it. So now you got a claw up there. So there is that. You can create an alternate transformation by taking off the arms and just popping the arms on up there. Because of the backpack, however, you don't get any articulation, and it just kind of looks really jacked up because his fist is right there. So I would advise not doing that, if at all possible. And one of my favorite combinations is to use the Zord Builder ports down here on the foot. Or legs, rather. I guess they're legs. But if you take the Raptor and Parasaurolophus, you can attach them down here on these leg ports to give us a combination that utilizes all 5 of the main Zords. And while obviously bulky, and I'm not sure how good a claw foot weapon would effectively fight evil, I like the fact that we are able to put all 5 Zords together without any extra effort or anything like that. It works for what it is. Here's where I really wish these had Zord Builder ports, because I would have loved to attach the Triceratops down here to add a drill to the foot and add the claw on the arm, but these don't have Zord Builder ports on their tummies, so I can't do that. So that is a flaw to me. But that is nothing to say about the Para and Raptor Zords. But here we go, a 5-team combination, and for what it's worth, I really dig it. So overall, I actually really like these quite a bit. At the $16.99 price point, they do a really good job of representing their on-screen counterparts. despite the alternate transformation, which I really wish was just the normal transformation. I don't know why they changed it like they did, but budgeting and all that, so whatever floats. Not having the Ranger figures in there did help a lot, because now we have some pretty nice painted Zords in this line, instead of the crap that we have gotten before. So bearing some silver lines, we got some pretty accurate representations, so I really do appreciate that. I love the combination with the Para Zord and the Raptor Zord with the T-Rex to form whatever that we're going to call it in Dino Charge. I just really like that weapon combination, and the color scheme is pretty cool too. And of course, mixing and matching with the other dinosaur arms is just a fun thing to do. And again, I really dig the fact that we can make a 5-team combination, even if it is really weird to have a claw on your foot. When your claw is a foot, or foot is a claw, and, well, you get the idea. But it's still a really neat combination, and I dig the fact that we can use the Parasaurolophus railgun on his shoulder whenever we please, because that's just a really cool thing to have. So at the $16.99 price point, I do definitely recommend these. They are our main Zords, so if you kind of want a full team, I would suggest buying into these. So for what they're worth, I think they did a pretty good job. So thanks for watching, take care, and have a great one. Bye.